Hello. In today's video, we're going to review the motorcycle that I ride when we're taking tours. You can see it right behind me, a Harley Davidson Switchback 2013. So let's take a tour and see what you think. So the dog to the right is Harley Caroline. Yes, her name is Harley, and she enjoys her time here around the motorcycles, but she does go up on the porch when we start them. So I just want to take a quick tour of the bike so you can see what we basically are riding when we tour around and choose our favorite destinations. This is a 2013 Harley Davidson Switchback. It's basically a stock bike. There are only a few things that I have added to it when it came from the Harley Davidson dealership. So this is metallic blue paint. This model is on the Dyna frame. It does have the forward controls, which I like quite a bit with my old arthritic knees. And it comes with some unique features. So this is really the most comfortable bike I've had. It is accessorized with just a few things. We'll start up here so that you can see. I do have a GPS holder on the handlebar here, and that was, maybe $5 or $10. Pops right off when you're not using a GPS for around town, but if you're going on a long ride and there's a detour, sometimes that's helpful. More important than that is the coffee cup holder. A Dunkin' Donuts medium cup of coffee will fit in there. Also water bottles and those kinds of items. The windshield actually was not an accessory. That came stock with the bike, and it really helps us on the longer rides with deflecting the wind. It's not so much about the rain. What it does is it deflects the wind, so it takes pressure off your arms when you're riding. So we really do appreciate the benefits on long rides of that shield. It is a quick release windshield, so I can pop that windshield off of there in a matter of seconds. And that's one of the advantages of the Switchback. You can switch it from a touring model down to, just your around town kind of ride. The console has your basic controls, the speedometer. There's a gas gauge on the right. This one does not open. It has a gas gauge on it. And of course, the ignition switch and starter switch is right here. If you want to lock the bike so nobody can use it, you put the key in there and lock that. And then of course I also added a power accessory tube here so that we can charge up things. It also allows me to run the GPS and not to worry about the battery coming apart or running out of fuel. The tank holds about 4.5 gallons of fuel. I get about 55 miles to the gallon when I'm on the highway. I get about 42 to 45 when I'm around town in the city. When I had my Sportsters, I always put a touring seat on it. This is the stock seat, and it's really comfortable, so I enjoy that. It does come with hard bags. They are stock from the factory, and they're quick release. You can open them up and pop out the I can do this with the camera in my hand. You can see inside there's that little switch where we'll just flip it over and unlock it, and it pops right off. So again, as the name implies, you can pop those bags off, you can pop that windshield off, and you're good to go to rat around. But I tend to leave everything on because I keep my rain gear and stuff in there. Two of the accessories that I did add was the higher backrest on here, and the luggage rack. The reason I put the luggage rack on, when we go for a longer ride, you know, multiple day ride, I have a bag that fits on the back that I can put all my clothes in and necessities. So that bag is much easier to carry on the back. If I have somebody on the back with me, it definitely rides here. If I am riding single and going on a long trip, I actually put that bag on backwards and I sit it on the passenger seat, and that I can then use as a backrest, and I will put a small duffel bag on the very back for added you know, added items that I can carry. So that is probably the most important accessory that I added: the luggage rack, the higher sissy bar, and then I would say the accessory power, the coffee cup holder, and the GPS holder. This bike is powered by a 103 cubic inch V-twin motor. If you notice, it does have the 2-in-1 exhaust, which gives it a nice throaty sound. I love the sound of this bike. Can't help but roll on that throttle when I go underneath a tunnel and crank it out. You can see that this has, instead of the floor pegs, it has the paddles to sit on there, sit your feet on there. So that's very helpful, and they're forward controls. So those forward controls help us old guys with the arthritis. Here you can see our shifter and the paddle on this side. By the way, this 103 cubic inch engine is hooked up to a 6-speed transmission. That's why I believe I can get 55 miles to the gallon or so when I'm out on the highway. So this is the bike that I ride. I bought this new, and I have about 8,000 miles on the bike. Last year I broke my ankle working on my cabin, so that took a year's worth of miles off of it. I couldn't ride that summer. So it's really done well. I haven't had any issues with it. It's an exceptional bike, and I'm glad you have joined me in some of the journeys we take on this bike. What would really help is if you subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, and give me a thumbs up if you can. Also, when you subscribe, if you tap that little notification bell, every time I put a new video up, you'll be notified. So you'll find videos on our channel that include bikes, boats, and bivouacs. Bikes can include motorcycles and pedal bikes. Boats can include fishing boats and kayaks, and bivouacs is actually a term for camps. So you will see adventures at a cabin. Sometimes they might be in a pup tent on the side of the road if we're out on the bike. It may be a timeshare or a military base, depending on where we're staying. And then ultimately you'll come along with me as we search for and purchase an RV, a dragger, one that we pull behind the truck, as we get that in place. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.